Alisha Moopen, who's the Deputy Managing Director of Aster DM, is to try and understand the rationale behind this merger. They have done a share swap as opposed to other things. And Alisha, thanks so much for joining in. Let me start by asking off, why this transaction? Is this the lay of the land, inorganic growth versus growing organically?
Super excited. It is, you're right, it's been a major milestone for us, and we believe it's not just a major milestone for us at Aster, but we truly believe it's going to be a transformative merger for healthcare in India. It is one of the biggest transactions that has happened even globally. When you ask the rationale behind the merger, I think I'll have to rewind back a little bit, because last year we're sitting with a demerger of the GCC business from Aster India. And then we realized that we definitely want to scale up India. The whole idea of the demerger was, how do we double down our efforts on India? How do we build on our strengths in India? And how do we scale up India? And there are a few ways to do it, right? We can either go ahead and start organically building that out. And the goal has always been, how do we become the top 3 and then eventually the top healthcare provider and platform in India? So we went through this whole process of evaluation, saying that, should we do it by ourselves? Should we do it with a PE sponsor? Should we do it with someone with a platform? And honestly, we believe that it's destiny. We're very lucky and very excited to partner with Blackstone with their platform of Quality Care, because we truly believe it's very complementary for us, right? When you look at the size and you look at the scale, we're so similar. Together, we are now creating an entity with 10,150 beds, which takes us to being the top 3 in the country. We will be in 9 states. We had a dominant South Indian presence, whereas now we'll have access to a lot of Central Indian markets. We add 4 new states. We will have 28 state leadership. So when we started looking at this on paper, we said, this is perfect. This is exactly what we want to do. And instead of doing it in 3 years' time or 10 years' time, why not do it now with a great partner like Blackstone, who can help accelerate this for us and really take our goals and our dreams to build the finest world-class healthcare institution in India and make that a reality quickly.
Alisha, what happens to the number of beds and the expansion? Because, I mean, you moved to 10,000 as a result of this, but from here you're only targeting 3,000 beds. So are you going a bit slow?
So 10,000 beds, we always had given guidance around 20% growth year on year. We've probably done more than that in the last few years, and our growth has been quite significant. But when you have a 10,000 bed base, adding 3,000 beds, which is 30% additional capacity, and large part of it being brownfield addition, that's not muted, is it? That's 30% growth. And the ability to ramp up and accelerate that, it's very fast for us, because these are, like I told you, a large part of these are brownfield units as well. On top of it, Neeraj, I mean, like, we do want to spend time to integrate these 2 platforms, right? They're large, they're mammoth in size. We want to make sure we're able to leverage the benefit of this scale. So that would mean a lot of effort will go into definitely unlocking that and gaining that value out of the system, whether it's on cost synergies, whether it's on revenue synergy, whether it's on manpower. How do we share the best practices, the best doctors, the best teams across to make sure that we have the best protocols in place? Having said that, look at the balance sheets, right? We do have very low leverage. We have cash available. We can go ahead and do inorganic expansions beyond what is there. So we're not putting that off the table. The appetite and ambition is high, but we also want to do justice to it, right? You don't want to scale up too fast where you're not able to do justice to this platform and the merger that we've created. So we said we'll start with the merger process, we'll start with the integration process, and of course, we want to very, very diligently evaluate the opportunities that come up. The goal, again, is to be a pan-India player, and that really depends on what comes up in terms of options and opportunities, and we will be opportunistic in that aspect.
Got it. Alisha, now you've got a bit of a stranglehold on South, right, by virtue of this. Would you look to expand beyond South in this combined entity? And would you expand beyond oncology and cardiology, which is the combined expertise of both of these entities?
So, current states that we will exist as a merged entity, like I said, the 27 cities and the 9 states, we definitely want to build further market leadership. And to the point, I think what's more pressing is the point you mentioned later, right? It's not only about adding beds, but how do you change the profile of the work that you're doing? So definitely there is a lot of leadership that we have in a few centers of excellence, whether it's neurosciences, whether it's oncology, whether it's organ transplant. And as you called out, CARE is well known for their cardiac program. So we do believe there is a lot of clinical knowledge sharing that will happen. And we want to be able to kind of do that with the existing facilities, especially with the brownfield. On the geos itself, we are actively looking at the pipeline of assets, and they do range across the country, and we've found some interesting assets, but it would be too early and too premature for me to talk about. And it's so hard to give you a vision on that because it really depends on what's out there and what materializes at the end of the day. So we do want to also put our heads down and focus on the big opportunities that is there at hand, but also tell you that we are keeping our ears to the ground on if there is something that's attractive that comes, we will not shy away.
Alisha, we'll have to thank you though. Time is just over, but congratulations on this deal and all the best for the quarters ahead. That's Alisha Moopen of Aster DM.